Hello, my name is Lucia and I'm a junior at Brown University, class of 2023. I am studying architecture and behavioral decision sciences. Today, my lesson will be about networking to find internships in less conventional fields. Of course, this can apply to pretty much any field, but is extra helpful for those who have less resources. My lesson will specifically relate to Brown University and our resources, but most colleges will have similar programs. So internships are a great way of getting some experience for your resume while learning more about a potential career field and earning some extra money maybe. For industries such as CS and finance, a heavily structured hiring system is already in place that is often finalized by September. And they're so popular that there's often a lot of information online and maybe from friends that can help you get an internship in those fields. But hopefully I'll be able to bridge the gap and give you some tips for all industries. It is important to remember that all fields are different and may have a different timeline, different hiring practices. In architecture, for example, most firms don't really know their summer hiring needs until maybe February. It is also important to remember that if you don't have internship experience, it is not the end of the world, especially for freshman year summer. It is also very valuable to do travel, study abroad, or even just take a break and self-care. So moving on to finding internships, one of the first tips I have is to definitely check with your own university's career center. So at Brown University, we have something called the Career Lab. At the Career Lab, I was able to meet with the counselor to discuss my future plans, general tips for internships, and they even do resume reviews and cover letter reviews. Attending the Career Lab lectures and meetings is kind of how I learned a lot of my tips here as well. So there are three main ways of finding internships. Applying through online job postings actually only accounts for maybe 20% because most jobs are never even posted online. The rest of the jobs, around 70%, is found through networking and word of mouth, and the final 10% is kind of found through cold emailing and cold calling. So one of the most valuable things you can get out of college is connections and relationships. Almost every college has a vast alumni network that can help you get your foot in the door for careers and internships that you're interested in. Even if you are unsure about your career path, conducting informational interviews with alumni is a great way to learn more about the field. They're incredibly helpful because you can hear from someone who is once in a position just like you and hear more about their life path and their journey. At Brown, there's a vast alumni network called Brown Connect that you can use to kind of find alumni. You can filter for location and career. So using this database, I created a spreadsheet of different alumni working in architecture, mostly from the greater NYC area because that's where I'm from. This also allowed me to have something in common with them when I was talking to them. So I would email each of them and kind of write what about their career path interested me and try to set up an informational interview. In this initial email reaching out, it is probably best to not ask for an internship right away, just because it's kind of more approachable to be a student asking for help, and that step kind of comes later. So using the spreadsheet, I kept track of who I reached out to and who responded. So if your school doesn't have an accessible alumni database such as this, luckily LinkedIn is a great resource as well. So using LinkedIn is a very similar process. You would just message the alumni through a LinkedIn account. So setting up a nice profile is important for a good first impression. Then to find alumni, you can go to your college's page, search alumni under relevant keywords. You can also go to companies you're interested in and see if any current employees are alumni from your school. Once you have these connections, connect with them and send them a message to schedule an informational interview. So here's what a sample email could sound like. Sample email/message. Dear insert alumni name. I recently found your profile in Brown Connect/LinkedIn. I am a rising sophomore at Brown from New Jersey thinking about concentrating in architecture. I am interested in learning more about your current work and your career path in architecture, especially since you seem to have a very unique path, and I am interested in what else is possible with an architecture undergraduate degree. Would it be possible to schedule an informal interview with you to ask you a few questions and learn more about your work? Thank you for your time and consideration. Sincerely, Lucia. This can also be applied to high school alumni or club, Greek-like alumni, or even past supervisors. If you have friends and family who work in a field you're interested in, they're definitely a valuable resource as well if you can set up an informational interview with them. And finally, reaching out to professors, just going to their office hours, especially a professor that is in the field you're interested in or one that you just have a good relationship with. They usually know a lot of people and can probably point you to someone to talk to, and you can schedule an informational interview with them as well. So what exactly are informational interviews? They're usually a quick phone call or Zoom meeting where you kind of just chat up the person you're talking to, ask them about their career path and their journey after graduation and maybe what led to them to where they are today. Basically, just ask them anything you want to learn. For example, a common question I would ask is whether they went to grad school for architecture, since that's a decision I'm contemplating for myself, and it's very interesting to hear different perspectives of different people and see where they ended up. From there, as you're talking to them, the next step is kind of to bring up that you're looking for an internship for whatever time period. So you can say, for the summer of 2023, I am looking for an internship, and ask them if they have any advice or suggestions of where to look and who you could talk to. So from here, they would usually either offer you kind of a position at their own firm or their job, or refer you to someone or another firm they know is hiring. Even if they don't do any of those, just give you general advice, all of these options are a win because you learn more about your career field and you gain something out of it. So while you're on one of these meetings or phone calls, here's some sample things you can say. Thanks so much for agreeing to talk to me. So what did your career path look like after graduation? What does your day-to-day job responsibilities look like? How do you feel about the industry? Do you have anything you would do differently? Do you have any tips for me as a student aspiring to enter a similar career? I'm in the process of looking for an internship for the summer. Do you have any suggestions for where to look and who to talk to? So the final method of looking for internships is cold emailing, which is, again, around how 10% of internships are found. I found in personal experience that for architecture, it is quite fruitful. Generally, when applying on online listings, it kind of feels like you're just sending your application out into the void and you kind of never hear from them again, whether you're accepted or rejected. But for cold emailing, especially for smaller firms, I usually get a response, even if they tell me, sorry, we're not looking to hire. So my freshman year internship was actually found this way. I knew I was going to be at home for the summer, so I kind of looked on Google Maps within commuting distance of where I was willing to drive and just emailed every single firm I was interested in working for. I wrote a short introduction and mentioned that I was very willing to learn, included a PDF of my resume and a link to my portfolio website. I also added that if they're not looking to hire, I would be interested in just scheduling a phone call to talk to them and learn about their firm and their career path as well. With these tips, you are now much better equipped to finding your dream internship. In summary, in addition to applying for online listings, using networking and cold emailing to find jobs is also very valuable. With these tactics, you can also learn more about your career in general. Remember that you can also combine these methods, like for example, reaching out to someone on LinkedIn who works at a company that you submitted an online application to see if they can help you out or just help you learn more about the company. So yeah, make the most of your time at college, make a lot of connections, and start early. Good luck, everyone.